Week 4, Breeders' Cup Weekly. We're going to be talking through what happened at Woodbine. Trust the profits. It's the formula here. Joined by El Hombre running through his. Oh, he's got himself a beverage there. Running through his Breeders' Cup Weekly as we're going through week 4 here. We got 3 races that we are looking back on from the previous week. All 3 of them happened at Woodbine. Here we go. El Hombre, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, we had the 3 When You're In races. Johnny Walker, Natal Mistakes. That was the Juvenile Phillies turf. She Feels Pretty. Got her done. Locked into the Breeders' Cup. In the Rico Woodbine Mile, you saw Master of the Seas, the Irish horse, which is, I mean, we can get into this later, but is it going to be like this again? This is the FanDuel Mile. I mean, the Irish horse was just absolutely crushed last year.
And this is an Appleby horse too. Not to step on your toes there. It's an Appleby horse, and he was phenomenal last year. Breeders' Cup. Yeah.
Appleby and Aiden O'Brien. And then Carson's Run got it done on the Summer Stakes for the Juvenile Turf, which you'll see. We have the upcoming schedule going. But what did you see in these 3 races? Anything pop off the charts or off the screen for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you watch a horse win a race, you're going to have some positive thoughts about it, right? I was really impressed with She Feels Pretty. This was only her 2nd race, so she's just coming off her maiden, where she won in a closing fashion, closed like by 6 places, made up 6 places down the stretch in that race or something crazy like that. Won by a neck. Nothing to think that she would come in here with 12 horses in her field and completely blow away the field and win by over 4 lengths. But there it is. She did it. It was an impressive win. Master of the Seas, smaller field, Charlie Appleby horse. I would say he had 2 horses. One was in Natalma, one was in the Woodbine Mile. I don't think that this was by any stretch of the imagination his best 2 horses, but the second horse of the 2 got it done. I thought it was the better horse of the 2 that he had. So Master of the Seas, definitely a competitor there. And Carson's Run in the Summer Stakes had himself a good stretch run there at the end to close out a finish. Of the 3, do we think that we have any Breeders' Cup champions here? I don't know. Based on looking at the fields, I don't think any 3 of these are going to win. If I were to say that one of them would be the winner based on what the fields look like, and we're going to get into that in a second, I think it's going to be She Feels Pretty. I just think that Master of the Seas is going to have his work cut out for him when he faces a horse like Paddington, for example. One of 2 Paddingtons that we can talk about, born in 2020. Yeah, exactly.
Now, She Feels Pretty, like you said. I mean, that's juveniles, though, man. That is a wild ride. And let's take a look at what's happened here.
For sure.
This is Breeders' Cup When You're In by division. And as you can see, here's a Juvenile Turf Sprint. There's 2 of the 3 have run. No changes there. She Feels Pretty, you see in blue on the second chart there. With the blue-filled cell, that is, she just got in there, the Juvenile Phillies Turf Division. 3 races coming up. By the way, there is no Breeders' Cup When You're In races this coming weekend. Anything in green is for the following weekend, meaning the 29th, 30th, and October 1st. So we have an off weekend coming up, but the following weekend is very busy. There's 12 When You're In races, and there's 3 of them right there in the Juvenile Phillies Turf. Newmarket, Paris Longchamp, and Aqueduct all hosting races on that weekend. Should be interesting. But yeah, She Feels Pretty impressive. But man, with the juveniles, you kind of would like to see all of these horses a little bit more before you, whether it was impressive or not. I'm sure it was. I didn't even see the race, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, She Feels Pretty is going to be going into that race, that being her 3rd race, assuming she doesn't run anything between now and then. One of them being her maiden race, where she was a firster and won. And obviously this Natalma Stakes was extremely impressive. But again, you hope to get more tape on any of these horses and see what they look like in different situations. And she was stretching out, I think, in the Natalma to a mile from 6 furlongs the previous race. So
that's the challenge of the juveniles, baby, and that's what makes it exciting. And you see the Juvenile Phillies, Wonder Wheel the champ last year. Of course, we have not locked anybody in. Let's go Juvenile Turf. You have Carson's Run in there now. Diego Velazquez last week. And like I said, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we are having some heavy action coming in. The Juddmonte, Royal, Newmarket, Paris, and Aqueduct going to be busy places for the Breeders' Cup. The Juvenile division, you have nothing going on. Nothing going on until the 10-7 with Aqueduct, Keeneland, and Santa Anita all hosting.
Yeah.
And there's the familiar races, the Champagne, the Claiborne, and the American Pharoah Stakes, which are going to probably one of those will produce the favorite juvenile going into the Breeders' Cup. And if the horse is able to win that and then head into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and win that, you're looking at Kentucky Derby. If we're looking way forward, Forte won it last year, just to give you a clue how the Juvenile usually goes. Some years that horse that wins the Juvenile doesn't go anywhere, but Forte, in the case of Forte, the horse is still very much making a bid for a great 3-year-old campaign. Not going to win horse of the year at this point, but to move on, Turf Sprint, Caravel was the champ last year, and we have already 6 horses locked in, and the last one will be this coming weekend, or October 1st weekend. Sorry. Go ahead. You're French. You can speak French. Go ahead.
Oh.
I won't even try it.
You won't even try it?
Saying
I'm French.
De la Bois de Longines. I got nothing.
You're pretty close there. Prix de la Baie de la Champ Longines. All you have to do is fake it.
I'm past it. Let's move along.
Yeah.
Echo Zulu's locked into the Philly and Mare Sprint.
Of course she is.
Cody's Wish is locked into, along with Anarchist, locked into the Dirt Mile.
Cody's Wish looking to repeat that one, huh? How about that?
Yeah, and last time out, Cody's Wish not looking fantastic. So we'll see what happens
Up and
here.
down. Yeah.
We have the Ack Stakes, one of my favorite named stakes races.
Yes.
Just sounds very professional.
Yeah.
Churchill Downs, that's 9:30. That's that weekend where we have 12 coming up. So again, this weekend we're off. The following weekend, very busy.
Yes.
Churchill. And then we move to the Philly and Mare Turf, and we have 7 locked in. And here we go, back to Paris with another one. If you want to take that pronunciation, Prix de l'Opera. I'm doing Spanish. I can't do French.
Prix de l'Opera Longines.
There you go. That's 10-1.
All you have to do is put an accent on it and then completely fake your way through it, and someone on the other end will buy it.
We move to the Sprint division.
We do.
The Chosen Vron is a legend here.
The Chosen Vron.
We have Echo Zulu. We have all kinds of conversations to have about this division. It's always good, always entertaining. We're just not sure who's going to be in it yet, but with the Vosburg at Aqueduct and the Stoll Keenan Ogden at Keeneland, we will have the final 2 winner-ins. So moving along the mile, Master of the Seas just locked in. You see him in blue there. Previously, you had 7 other horses already locked in, including Paddington, which you mentioned.
Yeah.
Including Casa Creed, a lot of big names. And then they're going to round it out here in the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks. It's all coming together, folks. We're 2 or 3 weeks away from knowing what these fields are going to be, and then we can start deep diving.
And I would like to say that finding this information is no small feat, putting it together like El Hombre did. This is a service we're providing to you guys right here.
It's actually embarrassing for the industry.
It really is.
This is literally an Excel sheet, and here I am taking their logos. Thank you for the logo creator, whoever you are.
Yes.
Color coding it in spreadsheets and make it look like it's somewhat decent that I did this.
You're
because
welcome.
Nobody is putting together a schedule that works, that makes any sense online without having to you're talking 15 clicks per division. It's pathetic.
It's insane.
Welcome to horse racing if you're a new fan.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Good stuff.
Modern Games was the champ in the mile last year. All right. Distaff. Malathot was a champion. Now we have Clairiere back, 100 years old. Adair Manor back. The Juddmonte Spinster and Keeneland will decide the final winner in. And let's go to the last 2 divisions.
Yes.
Turf. Look at that, baby. We already got 9 locked in. We already have horses from all over the world. Argentina, Brazil, Ireland, Japan, America. What else? We got Paris coming up. We have the Ascot coming up with the Kipco Champion Stakes. And we have the Classic Division. Awesome Again Stakes at Santa Anita will
Yeah.
round out the When You're In campaign. Huge, like 100, I want to say there's 90 or 100 When You're In championship races between all the divisions.
Strong
And to
field so
recap
far.
before the formula, here we go. Look at
Yeah.
this is what's coming up just on that weekend, 9/29 through 10/1. We're going to be busy, folks. That is a Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
12 of them, boy, all over the world. I mean,
This
what are
isn't
we-
next month. This is next weekend.
Yes.
That's what's going on here in horse racing. It is insane.
So to all the Trust the Profits, the people who contribute to the channel, and we thank you and we love you. This is what we got to cover, folks. And you know me, I'm not the most. I'm the first one to admit I am not the person you want looking at the foreign races because I can't grip it. Matthew DeSantis, we love you. He's gone. He's doing bigger and better things. He was the guy that we turned to for this. Now we're moving along. We need to find that person. Maybe it's Jessica. Jessica is brilliant.
Absolutely.
In the numbers, she's a nerd like us. I mean, maybe we turn to her and lean on her for the foreign exchange that Matthew provided last year. But I had the best Breeders' Cup ever last year, personally, as far as betting went.
It was
And,
impressive.
I don't want to provide fictional information as to confidence levels outside, at the Paris Longchamp. I can't even say it, but
No, that was perfect right there.
thank you.
I think what the public's demanding is a one-on-one with Matt DeSantis about this after the fact. I think he would be open to it. We could probably try to pull him back in. Go ahead and throw that in the comments if you want to see Matt back here for a couple shows. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's ready. We've given him time. I've personally made it a point to give him space to get acclimated in the new job. And it's been a couple months. I don't know. I'm sure he wants. By the way, I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to do this.
That's all he writes about
outside of Naira.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move. So the Awesome Again Stakes. We're just going to cover the races coming up on that 9:30 to 10/1 or 9:29 to 10/1 weekend that are actually in America. Santa Anita, the Awesome Again. That's for the Classic. Now, do we know who's going to be in this yet?
Tough to tell.
Yeah, I don't even want to speak on it. I mean, there's definitely some. We can talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. How's that? Because I don't even want to speculate. The last thing I want to do is spread false information. The Vosburg Sprint. Now we know a couple that are going to be in here. Hey, did you happen to look ahead at any of these horses that we see in here? Because I know that there's a couple big names.
No, I have not looked at the Vosburg yet. Awesome Again. I still don't see anything on as well. So
look at the Vosburg because I'm going to tell you right now. Some of the bigger names in the industry in this division are looking at the Vosburg at Aqueduct. But I don't want to commit to saying it unless, have they become at least probables?
I see two probables in there right now, and it's Cody's Wish and Gunite.
There you go. That's a couple of big names I was talking. That's two of the big names. So you're talking some big stuff there in the sprint division. We'll see what happens. And then finally, what do we have here? The ACK, once again, one of the best names.
Off the tongue.
Yeah, it's really smooth. Churchill Downs, the dirt mile. Not sure who's entered or probable or possible. We don't like to speculate when it's a week and a half plus away from, we're talking here on Tuesday night, the 19th. So we just don't know.
Nothing there yet. Yep.
So why sit and talk trash? We don't know what's going on. Juvenile Phillies Turf at Aqueduct. The Miss Grillo, grade 2. And again, your guess is as good as mine on the juveniles. I love the Juvenile Friday at the Breeders' Cup. It's my favorite, actually.
See some lightning happen in that. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I can't make up my mind until they're all run. We're going to cover them for you and tell you who's won. I don't even look like ahead. I like to look at the tape after and kind of decide who's got the spring in their step and all that. And by the way, Juvenile night, I cleaned up last year on Forte, beating everybody's pick 5 single Cave Rock.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
We had that one called. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few of them called on. We did really well on Juvenile night, which is rare, to be honest. It's hard to win
Absolutely.
on Juvenile day,
It
you
is
know.
tough. You see
But
some shockers.
The Pilgrim Juvenile Turf at Aqueduct having a big weekend that weekend. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. That's Naira territory. There we go. There's an excuse to get Matt on. That's it, folks.
that's all you need.
We have a ton of stuff going on. Again, this coming weekend, whatever it is, it's September 19th today. This weekend, nothing. Thank God, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice little break in the action, and then all to just get bombarded by the storm of the weekend of the 29th, 30th, and October 1st. So what are we looking forward to most? What division are you most excited about? Because I can tell you what I am. And it ain't the classic.
Just in terms of Breeders' Cup in general,
Yeah.
I mean, any of those turf divisions are just going to be super interesting. And we've got a lot of horses that we just don't have a lot of information on because our focus is the US. But I also think that anything coming out of the juvenile, any of those races, obviously looking ahead to the Derby, looking at those races for the juvenile, those are obviously the ones that I'm putting a microscope on.
I'm looking at the distaff, to be honest, because you had
Yeah,
so many great ones.
yeah.
We had maybe, I'll argue, one of the better distaff classes I've ever seen last year.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Malathot got it done, but it was a
Ooh.
goddamn
Yeah.
legendary race.
A heart attack of a
The
race.
best race of the weekend by far.
Yeah.
It was like 4 horses, super competitive. 2 or 3 of them retired, but there's some good ones. And I'm going to tell you, there is arguments going on in our chat room amongst ourselves about what's happening in this division, like who's going to win. I mean, it's hard to tell because you got horses like Clairiere.
Yep.
That, of course, you have to consider them. Secret Oath, horses like that, and they have been at the top of the game, but not necessarily right now. And they've been at the top of the game, and they've also had major side steps or back steps.
Yeah.
And here we are. Who's going to do what, babe? That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Who's going to show up on the big day?
So that's it, baby. We got Breeders' Cup Weekly episode 4 in the box, baby. So we'll be back. I don't know. Maybe we do one next week. You're not going to get any new results for next week, but maybe we can do a little deeper dive into the 12 races coming up the following weekend.
Absolutely.
Formula, thanks for jumping in.
As always.
Yeah, man. We'll check it out. We will get back. We're going to do this every week from here until Breeders' Cup. Peace on earth, love, and mercy mild.